You know, the ability to hear evolved before the ability to see. It actually is kind of this deeper part of our consciousnesses, of our beings, of our ways of interacting with reality. So it's very powerful to manipulate emotions with sound. We can kind of be puppet masters with audiences.
You know, the beautiful thing about sound is it's an incredibly plastic medium. And we can really do a lot in terms of helping to shape whatever the tone and world really of the movie is going to be.
You know, a film that is really realistic can be just as challenging as a sound designer as something that's completely hyper-realistic or science fiction. And what's fun about a film like A Quiet Place is it kind of does both things. You have to create super reality, but then create something that is totally unique and super designed and never been heard before. Many people might assume that, oh, you know, don't you just record all of the sound on set, and that's the sound of the movie. And the reality is usually the only thing you're hearing in a film that was recorded on set is dialogue. And oftentimes a lot of the dialogue you are hearing wasn't actually recorded on set.
One of the things that we really like to try and do a lot of is recording fresh material for every project we're working on to sort of create an authentic sonic world for that specific story that we're helping to tell. Then there is all the sound effects editing, which is basically taking all these sounds that we've recorded in the world and editing them to picture to sort of create the whole sonic tapestry.
Sometimes we have to rely on our body of recordings that we've put together throughout our careers. And sometimes there's that perfect little twig snap that you did, you know, 10 years ago that you just can't reproduce. So, you know, we've got our little goodie bag of favorite flavors that sometimes you go to, almost like a spice drawer. When it comes to designing the sound of any creature, you can't just think of it as a creature. You have to figure out what's its behavior. How does it think and feel?
The challenge really was like, how much sound is enough to like keep it scary, but not too much to put it over the edge of like being unbelievable. One of the really big challenges, and really actually one of the very first scenes we tackled because it was an important nut to crack in the cornfield, where Millie's character is walking through the cornfield and a creature emerges out of the corn behind her. And so we as the audience see the creature coming behind her, but she can't hear it because, you know, because she's deaf. And then setting up the whole story idea of how sound affects the creatures.
It's really with sound and picture, we have to tell these kind of complicated stories popping between the sound POVs of these two characters, the creature and Regan. And we realized at one point we needed a little bit more time on the visual effect of the close-up of the creature before its ears kind of fillet open, so it's clear that we're hearing audience reality perspective. Now we're going into the head of the creature. That was a situation where when sound and picture can work together and evolve the film together, it's ideal.
In all of the work we do, we get obsessed with the details. You know, God is in the details. And then in this project, it was like a sort of showcase for these details, which was so cool to be able to sort of experience that.
When we're working on the film, we're like, this is so unique. And maybe it's too out there for audiences. Maybe we're taking such experimental risks that they're just not going to get it, or they won't be patient with these like long stretches of holding your breath and different gradations of quiet. When the film came out and people were just cheering as soon as the ending credits would hit, it was such like a relief but a vindication. We're like, good, we loved it, and we're glad the world loves it too.